Hi everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. On March 1st, we've got some new things coming out. They're going to be called Online Exclusives with Stampin' Up. So the idea is that on March 1st, they're going to be putting up a bunch of things that are not in a catalog. This way, they can control how long we have it, they can put it up and take it down, and it's not tied to a particular catalog, which really helps when we're trying to get dies and things in. This was a pre-order for demonstrators starting last month, so I did pick it up just to try some things out. I'm going to show you what this looks like. This is one of the bundles that'll be available. This one's called Irresistible Blooms. It's a pretty floral stamp set. It's got a nice font, nice thick sentiments, which is really nice. The dies are nice also. You've got this long one, which is sort of an accent piece. It's very delicate, very stretchy. I was thinking you could even maybe like tie it together, do something with it. I don't know. I haven't figured out what to do with this yet, other than it does look nice, just sort of tone on the card, but you'd probably want to make sure you do the adhesive sheets with it because it is very delicate. And then this die right here makes a really nice window. So it will cut the circle here, but all of this stays with it. So it's sort of open-ended, which I like a lot. We've had a few of these swirly dies. So if you don't have one yet, this might be a good one. And two open dies, which will cut these, and it'll also cut some of the paper that I'm going to show you. Leaves, these leaves right here, cut these guys out. So it's a nice bundle if you need another flower set. I feel like I have flowers coming out of my ears, but I'm always up for a new one, apparently. And I do really like the dies. So to me, one of the best things is a designer paper, because like I say, you know, it's like getting a new necklace for a dress you've had forever. Get new designer paper and it'll feel like everything's fresh again. This is called Hello Irresistible because it's supposed to look like it's resisted. You know how we'll stamp with Versamark and maybe clear emboss and then, you know, rub the ink on it. That's what this is supposed to look like, although it's flat, there's not a texture to it. But it's very, very pretty. You got some pretty painted watercolors on the other side. And one thing you may notice is a few colors in here that we haven't seen for a while. There is Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock listed on the back, which means, you know what that means, that they're coming back. So we're excited about that. So about every 5 years, you know, they do a color refresh. And they may remove some colors from our basic group, and then they might bring some back that have been super popular. So Pretty Peacock was one of them. It was one of my favorites. It's back. It's going to be back. I'm excited about that. And the Lost Lagoon is very pretty. This is soft seafoam right here. This is pretty paper. I really like this one too. It's almost aquatic, but it doesn't have to be. Pretty. So a lot of these images, these dies, there's a large and a small flower die. Those will cut those out. Pretty resist. And like these, the leaves, there's the leaves dies, will cut them out. But they're easy to fussy cut if you don't mind that. So this is a pack of 48 sheets, 12 designs, 4 of each of these. And then they also have some new embossing folders. And this is a set of 3 for 30, so you can't buy them individually. But I'm always up for a new embossing folder too. So let me show you what they look like. This one sort of looks like, on this side, it looks like a golf ball. And on this side, it's very raised, soft little dots, which is kind of nice. Very soft looking, like bubbles almost. This one I like a lot. It's like a crosshatch kind of a design. You see that? I did it on gold so you could see it a little bit better. I really like this one. And even the back side is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, probably not. But I like that one a lot. That's probably my favorite. And then this one, I did it on gold also so you could see. It's got these little tiny stars, or like a anise flower. Can you see that? That's kind of a cool design. Anyway, I got them. I like them. I'll use them. Especially that one. Oh, there's also this gilded designer paper. This is really pretty. You get 2 each of these designs. This one is vanilla and gold. Now they come 12 by 12. This is just easier to handle, and I've already used some. Vanilla and gold, it's white on the back. This one is silver and white. Really pretty. And this one is a copper and white. So those are really pretty. 6 sheets of those. 2 of each of them for $10. And then the last thing, well, there's a little alphabet set here, and these loose dots. I'm not a fan of the loose dots. The large ones will fit on the glue dots. So they're flat on the back, so you can glue them down. There's 3 different sizes, and in the peacock and a yellow and a pink. So I like to put them right directly on my glue dot, and then I'll show you how I use them for the smaller ones and how I glue those on. But I wish they had adhesive on the back already, but they are pretty. So I did make a couple of cards using these. I'll show you this one first. This one, colors I have not used in ages. So this card is mint, the soft sea foam designer paper, and petal pink. And then I stamp the flower. Now if you have good eyes, you can take your 1x4 and you can glue these on right here and here and then line that up. Sometimes I have a hard time doing that, so I'll take, rather than a piece of cardstock, I'll take a piece of copy paper and I'll use that as my guide because it's light and it doesn't cost a lot. And so I'll cut this down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 so I can line this up here and make sure that everything fits nicely on here. So I kind of use it as a guide. So rather than use a whole sheet of the designer paper, we're just going to use a little bit. Now this piece is 4 by 4 and it can just layer right across there. But you see how, like, it's really hard to get it perfect. So I'll glue it down and then I can trim it off. But now I want to decide what I want behind it. On this card, I've got some designer paper behind it. So I can flip this one over. I can do all green behind here, just like that, which might look pretty with the flower. I can do plain white. I could do embossed white. This has got that cross-hatching one on it. That might be kind of pretty. I might try that. I'll try that. Why not? And then we'll try a different color flower. So we'll add some of this behind it first before we put the card together. This can be a touch smaller, just so that it doesn't poke out around the edges. And then we've also got something nice and sturdy to put on here. So I'm going to line this up at the top. And then I'll probably take it to my trimmer and just make sure this is nice and perfect right here. And add that to my mint. I love the soft sea foam and the mint together. It's really pretty. So in this case, I stamped the flower. This one, I just cut that out of the designer paper. So that's that design. Put that behind there. I can stamp a couple leaves, or I can use that pretty die with some more mint cardstock and then add a sentiment, whatever I want to do. In this case, I just added the word dies. So there's white and there's a touch of green behind it. So I cut it 2 times. So this one's really versatile. I really like that circle. The circle's also good for putting other things in there. You can put a big butterfly in there. That'd be pretty. You can just stamp a sentiment in the middle. That would be pretty. Now this one has a few more layers to it. This is bringing back that peacock cardstock, which will be coming back. I'm excited. I'm not sure how soon it's coming back. I think it'll be coming out in the new annual catalog, but I'll take it. So I have the peacock cardstock. And then we're going to add this pretty design behind it. We're going to make like a little layer. And you can print the measurements. You don't have to try to write them down. There's a Word document that I have with all the measurements. If you expand the description below, you'll see the link to the recipe. And here's a 3 3/4 by 5 layer of the peacock that goes on top. I miss this color. So pretty. I just like all that peeking through. And then for the flowers, I use the designer paper. Here's these 2 sheets that I use. I've got 2 left here. And the dies will cut these out, or you can fussy cut them. And then the leaves over here on this one, there's a 3-leaf and a 2-leaf to cut out. Now just to jazz it up a little bit, I don't know if you can see all of the shininess on this. On the flower, I took some of our fine tip glue, which is clear, it's glossy and clear, and it's not sticky when it dries, kind of like a Crystal Effects would. And I just outlined everything that was white just to give it a little bit more dimension. I can add these flowers on. Let's do one here. And I put this one up here. I did do an extra little gold one because I thought it was pretty to have some gold in there. Now my sentiment, I used the Pretty Peacock ink on a piece of vellum. This takes a long time to dry. It was sitting there for about an hour and still a little damp. It was still really glossy. So I took my heat tool and just dried it. So vellum takes a while to dry, but we're just going to, I'll turn this over so you can see. We're just going to cut a little banner, go up the center and in from the sides. Or if you have a punch, that's good too. And I want to position it so those words will pop out. So I need a little bit more color underneath right here. I'm going to add this one under. So see how that makes the words pop out? So I can see it just a touch better. And this one goes up here. Now, I am going to just use my fingernail right here to make a little crease. I'm going to bend it and I'm going to tuck it in. The problem with the vellum is the glue, right? Because it's very hard to glue it down and not see. So we're just going to take a tab and we're just going to squiggle it right under this layer here, providing I didn't glue it down too hard. Right there. I'm just going to stick it in there. You almost have to wait till last to do it though, because you want to position it over the flowers. This little guy is so good for getting in there when you glue down too much. I'm going to open that up a little. All right, we're going to stick that under there and bring it across right there. Now this is flip-flopping around a little bit, so we're going to use one of these dots on a glue dot. Let's do this peacock one right here. It's got the glue dot on it. And I'm just going to put it somewhere, maybe down here, to hold that little banner down. And then I can do a few more of these scattered around. What I like about the round design and these little things, you can put these little guys on there. Kind of scatter those. So I take some of my glue, that fine glue, fine tip glue, just a little bit. I put it on my silicone pad, or I put it on like this is my little glue dot sheet. Then I can take my sticky part here, my little pickup stick, and I can grab a couple of these smaller ones. Let's grab this little peacock one. I can pick that up here and then just touch it to this liquid glue, just a little bit. You don't want a lot. And then you can add your glue, hold it down. Now it's going to take probably 10 minutes for that to dry, but it's just a good way to add glue to these. Again, I would love it if they were adhesive backed, but I do think they're very pretty, so I'm working with it. And because they're flat on one side, they're really not that great for shakers because they flip upside down. Pick that up, add a little bit of glue, and tap it off. You know, you don't want it to be gushy. That dye really makes it. And then for the ribbon, I slid it right through this vellum piece right here and tied on some of that crinkled seam binding in the white, just to kind of add a little something flowy. On the inside, I added a layer of the designer paper, a smaller layer of white, and then some more flowers. This one's probably my favorite. Anyway, it's a pretty bundle. Looking forward to seeing what else they have in store for us on March 1st. I'll post everything. Make sure you follow my blog at lindastamps.com, where I'll post all of the links and all of the new stuff. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.